Peace, 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 peace. Greetings, greetings, grand rising, kings and queens, grand rising. I'm coming on today early, so I won't be distracted by the comments. Um, I got a lot to talk about. I went to bed early last night and I woke up early and to see some videos where even people that I've always admired, I've always been around, and they're actually saying some of the things that I've said, and they're actually adding a twist to it and saying some things. And so those things that they're saying and happen to be lies. One of the parts that make hip hop are the actual events that happen. And so a lot of times, if you're not there at the actual event, then the story gets twisted. If you hadn't witnessed some of these events, then the stories get twisted. Anyway, I was watching some of these videos, and I'm just gonna I'll just go ahead and call out the name. I watched a KRS video, and I watched the interview with Charlie Rock. Now, both of these people, I've definitely had, a friendship relationship with, especially Charlie Rock. Charlie Rock is I knew way before I knew KRS-One, and so I value his opinions. I do value Charlie Rock's opinions, and I just want to cite some of the increpencies that I saw, that was said in this interview. One of the things that I must admit is that I am probably one of the ones that first said about how the graffiti was placed in as an element in hip hop. So yes, it's true that once the flyers came in, the graffiti artists like Buddy Esquire and Phase Two were implementing graffiti, handwritten flyers that were put out. And so that's part of it, but that's not the whole part of it. It actually got introduced to fashion. What we used to do is we would get, well, I would do it sometime myself because I was a graffiti artist, and we would put the face and the name on the jacket in graffiti, and it started happening with just like how my hat is, it has the graffiti, and we would put it on our fashion dungaree suits and stuff, and with the different colors, and we would implement that on into our fashion, and it really got popular when when we're starting to actually get the it on our sneakers, or something that we had. Now, when we were younger, we used to do graffiti on the notebooks, on your loose leaf notebook. You would have your name put on your notebook and stuff. So that's where the graffiti came into hip hop. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty about the lies. The lies, I guess, started actually when people were not able to get to a jam, or they weren't able to participate, as you may, in a jam or event. some kind of hip hop event. So the lies started coming by saying, number one, by saying that you were at the event when you really wasn't at the event, saying you saw something at the event when you really didn't see something at the event, or say you did something at the event when you weren't even at the event to do anything. And those lies begin to circulate and caught on. So people would say, oh man, this person was here at this event and did this or whatever. And then it would go on, the lie would go on, circulate, circulate, circulate. And then, next thing you know, it's taken as truth when it was totally far from the truth. Uh, you know, one thing that is definite. Now, I can't talk of this is something also that I want to put out. I can't talk about anything other than what I saw. Okay, so these are some things that I've witnessed. One thing that I've witnessed in 1971 with the black spades being an actual spade, I knew that there were different projects because I have cousins all over New York, all over, Jersey, down south. And I would know when I would go to their projects, I wouldn't see the same things that I would see in my project. I just would not see it. One of the things that I didn't see at an early age, I didn't see people being able to actually just come to our project without an invitation. I didn't see that in other projects. Like I said, we would go to other projects open, like just like open invitation. Like we didn't have to know anybody or anything. We would just walk through the projects and it would be okay. That wouldn't happen in Bronxdale. Bronxdale, as soon as you pass the borderline, people are like, "Who are you? Where are you coming from? Who you want to see?" And those type of questions. So I don't understand how people can say that they were regularly there in Bronxdale and you weren't really basically invited by someone that was in Bronxdale. So to me, that's what I witnessed, and I just didn't understand how people are actually saying that now. Another thing that I witnessed is in 1971. In 1971, um, there was really basically no type of how can I say, there was no type of style other than what I saw what was happening. Now there were different elements as far as watching TV, going to the movies, certain house parties that do the music that is playing. And it just wasn't something that was basically done that was secret, like how it was in Bronxdale. In Bronxdale, the reason why it was secret was because, number one, and this is something that I must get out, hip hop, as we know hip hop as it is now, it was actually created by kids, pre-teens. So anyone that says that they were teenagers when it was created, that's a falsehood. And the reason why I know that is because at the time of creation for hip hop, the teenagers thought, just like the adults, that it was something stupid. It never saw somebody on the floor basically doing these moves at a young age. So they thought that it was just stupid. They didn't realize that everything that was being done was doing because that's something that we were showing off. And when I say showing off, meaning that everyone had a birthday party where their parents asked them to, do that dance or sing that song or whatever, and that would be your showing off time. So that was our show off, what we did to the music. There was hip hop, there was breakdancing. Another thing that I know is definitely a lie is that when the creation began, our creation did not involve Puerto Ricans. It didn't. In 71, when I started realizing who was actually Puerto Rican, if you go to their house, their parents or whoever guardians that they were playing strictly Spanish music. That's it. And a lot of the Puerto Ricans that were there were not claiming Puerto Rico. They just were not. And that's a lie. If the people tell you that they say that they were claiming Puerto Rico, that's a lie. That's a straight up lie. No, they were not. Actually, and this is, people can get mad all they want, doesn't bother me. Puerto Ricans, Spanish, period, not just Puerto Ricans, but Spanish, period, were actually against us. They were against us, totally against us. That's basically how the Black Spades were created, because it was the Spanish gangs, the Spanish people that came together, all together. And there used to be a saying, anybody that's older than 50 or 60 would know that the saying was that, man, those Puerto Ricans, they stick together. They do stick together, because that's when you would see them. You would see them in bunches of people. There would be more than 20. There would be more than 30. There would be so many of them together. And that's when they represented Puerto Rico. So other than that, when they were trying to blend in, there was no togetherness for them and us. There was none. And so that's what made the different animosities, I would, if you want to call it, against us and us against them. Because first, like I said, in the beginning, when we were in elementary school and everything, there was none. We didn't really think about if there was a Puerto Rican in our class. We were not thinking about that. But then if you would go to that classmate's house, or a place where they lived at, then you would understand that okay, their culture is totally different than ours. Their culture is totally different than ours. And we saw that. We would hear the music, we would hear, and that's one thing that is so difficult for us now as we go back and we look at it. So they could be talking about you in Spanish, right? Which they did, and you would kind of look at their facial features and know, okay, they're talking about us. And they would do that. They would talk about us in Spanish because we didn't understand English, especially as being young as we were getting through just learning how to say the words in English and know the things in English. So when they came with another language, and they were, that, and believe it or not, that's where we tried to make our own language. And you remember, it's me, and all the stuff that we were trying to do, make a language so that we could have our language that they didn't know about, and so you would get in the elevator or something, and an older Spanish person would, two older Spanish persons would be there, and now we kind of know some of the words, or some of us do know Spanish, and you think about what they said, and they were like, el chocolate and negro and all of those things that they were saying. They were talking about us. They were talking about us and saying how you have to watch them and beware of them, and all the different things that the Puerto Ricans were saying about us. So it's very strange how they're talking about how we were so together. We were so family together with the Puerto Ricans and us, and that's just totally a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. When I've said it before, when it's one or two of them, then they're down with us. They're down with us. They can't get enough of saying that they down with us. They down with us. When it's 20 of them, 30 of them, then automatically they're Puerto Rico, Puerto Rico, oh, Puerto Rico. And that's just the matter of it. That's just the gist of it. You cannot exclude that. You cannot say that didn't happen and doesn't happen still to today. So I cannot understand where the 50-50 part comes in at. There was no 50-50. When you say 50-50, that means that you brought something to the table to actually was an ingredient that made this happen, or bake the cake, or whatever you did to the 50-50, that should be evident now. It should be evident now. It should be something that is spoken on now. It should be took into account now, and it's not. The DJing part, it's not even taken till to now. The MCing part, not till now. The breakdancing, not to now. And the fashion, not to now. And so you didn't bring fashion from Puerto Rico here. You didn't bring that. You didn't bring snapping from Puerto Rico here and applied it to hip hop. You didn't do that. You didn't bring breakdancing or DJing from Puerto Rico here. Okay, so that's if you have brought your culture here, and I keep on saying it, I'm not trying to snap. I'm really not trying. Well, I guess I am trying to snap. But if you had brought the things from your culture from Puerto Rico to here, what would it be? It would be Spanish music. That's not a part of hip hop. It would be the rap lingo, the language. There was no early days. There was no Spanish hip hop. There was no Spanish MCing. There was no thing, because number one thing right off the back, if you brought the Spanish language to hip hop and you was quoting him, we wouldn't know what the heck you were talking about. So you're standing up there going and we'll be looking at you like, what are you crazy? What are you talking about? So this definitely didn't bring the language to hip hop. That just didn't happen. And as far as the fashion, you know how I get down. No, we were not wearing white patent leather shoes. We were not wearing high waters, and we were definitely not wearing a million different colors. We just were not doing that. So that's a lie. lie if any Puerto Rican says that they brought their fashion to America and that's what happened. That's just a lie. You cannot say that, especially in 1971. Especially. So saying that is just it makes things so not even complicated, but it makes things stupid because why would we just think about it? Why would we sit there and listen to someone speaking Spanish over our music? Why would we do that? We would ask them like, oh, and we used to say that a lot of times. We'd be in the elevator or something, and somebody starts talking Spanish. We'd be like, hold up. You speak, you're in America now. Speak English, speak English, speak English. And we would do that all the time. And then they would have to stop saying the Spanish that they were saying. So now imagine you being at a jam, right? And we playing James Brown and all the funky songs and everything. And somebody's on the mic going, make it out and all of that. And they saying all of that. We would be like, what the hell is going on? This is a falsehood. This is a falsehood. There's no way we would do that. Imagine being in a jam and everybody comes in, walking in with the high waters and the different colors and the white patent leather shoes. And just imagine that. And the white socks on it. Imagine that. We would be like, hold on, where you going? Where you going? You're not coming in here. So imagine that. Imagine someone on the turntables, we're jamming and everything, and somebody comes in and plays some Spanish music. Dun, 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 dun. And imagine that. So there's no way possible that any of those entities will come in to what we were doing as hip hop. And we're talking about the creation of it. So there's nothing that they can say, nothing. There's nothing that Puerto Ricans or Jamaicans can say was brought from Jamaica or Puerto Rico to America and we were influenced by it. That's just a lie. So I don't understand why us are not saying the same thing that I'm saying. Like, whoa, what part of creation are you talking about? We wasn't doing that. We wasn't speaking Spanish. We wasn't wearing no high waters. We wasn't doing none of that. We were doing none of that. So where's the influence? And then, a lot of people come back and they say, okay, well, Mario was doing this and Mario had text and everything, as us being kids, and I'm telling you, us, the creators, when we saw text, we did not know that he was Spanish. We did not know, we knew, we just did not know. I know I did not know. I did not know. I'm one of them, and I just did not know that Tex was Spanish, Puerto Rican. I did not know. Okay, and on top of that, he wasn't playing no Spanish music. He was not playing Spanish. He was playing our music. He was playing he would play James Brown, whatever there was that we were grooving to. And earlier I know that everybody that he was sticking with or hanging with was us. So I didn't see him go be with other Puerto Ricans or anything. I didn't see none of that. So you ask Tex, and the people that say, "Oh, Tex," go talk to him. Go ask him. When we saw Tex had on the afro. If you look at the early pictures of Tex he just looked light skinned, and that's what I believed that he was. So we didn't know until later on that he was actually Puerto Rican. And like I said, he wasn't playing Spanish music. He didn't dress like a Puerto Rican. He didn't talk like a Puerto Rican. I never heard him saying Spanish. I never saw him playing Spanish records or anything. So, the people that keep on saying that Tex was Puerto Rican and he was a part of the creation. That's a lie. That's a lie. And these are the lies that keep on generating. Anytime you talk about the creation, oh, here they come with, oh, Tex was, Puerto Rican and everything. So listen, the people that say that they were with us, the people at those times, they did not wave the Puerto Rican flag. I told you, when they waved the Puerto Rican flag, it had to be 20 or more of them. That's when they waved the Puerto Rican flag. When there was 20 or more of them, they would wave the Puerto Rican flag and say, hey, Puerto Rico, that's it. Okay, so we didn't know that. Getting back to like the creation of it and what I keep on telling you with the creation of it. So you have to think about this. Now, us being black spades and us, they created the founders, David and Guru, were David was having a problem with the Puerto Ricans up on over the bridge next to 123 going to school. And the Puerto Ricans were, like I said, would be 20, 30 of them, and then they'll come in and address or confront one or two of us when there's 20 or 30. Okay, so they'll confront that. And so that's what happened. So the Black Spades was basically formed on by saying that, oh, hey, listen, you ain't gonna come over here and do nothing. You ain't gonna mess with our business. They a part of us. He a part of us. So you're not gonna just come and step to us like that. We're gonna get down. And these were karate experts. These were karate experts. So I would have loved to see 10 or 20 of them mess with Guru or mess with Karate Pete or Snoopy or Slater or Pop Edwards or any of them. Okay, so that was the whole reason why it was even started. So now imagine that we're having beef with these Puerto Ricans, but yet and still they're right there aside of us creating this what's called hip hop. Oh my goodness, it just bothers me so much. Another thing that bothers me is that people are actually listening to a culture since 71, which started out as Michael Wayne TV. And so they're hearing a couple of things that I have said in the past about Mario. Now, some of these researchers or whatever, before I was saying these things and before we were bringing up Mario, they were into the same thing, saying that Disco King Mario played disco music. And that's where people are just the people that weren't there don't even know. Before any of us had the title DJ or MC, we were just one name, whoever we were. That's our name. So it wasn't Disco King Mario. It was just Mario. That's number one thing. It was just Mario. It didn't have Disco King attached to it. I'll tell you later on in this broadcast where the Disco King came from. So no, in the early beginnings of it, he was not playing disco music. Was not, totally was not point blank, period. Now, the reason it became hip hop is because of us, because of what we were doing. We were able to put, because we're baby spades and we're part of Bronxdale, we were able to put these break records on Mario's turntables, and that's where the break craze started from. Now, go back to 71. Go back to 71 and ask the DJs that were there, or somebody that remembers the DJs that was there. I keep seeing Flowers, and I keep on seeing all the other DJs, Pete DJ Jones and stuff like that. Those DJs were playing to the crowd, to the music that the people were listening to. People weren't listening to breaks. People were not just taking a part of a record and just playing it. That would be a waste of money. If you go to buy a record, you want to hear the record from front to back. That's why there's such a difference now when you buy an album. When you buy an album, if you just playing one or two records on the album, it's basically a waste of money. So you want to buy an album that every record on there is something that you like. So when the breaks, where we were doing the breaks, man, we had records that you couldn't listen to the whole record, because you're like, oh, you can't dance to that, you can't groove to that or whatever. And so it was only a little space in that whole entire record that had this part that we could dance to, this groovy part it had the drums, and it was something that we could dance to. Okay, so now go back to that. So now, if the people were only dancing to that single part of the record, then there was a that's not a good party. So people, when we were played that certain part of the people were like saying, okay, let the record play. This, and I'm talking about in 71. In 71, they were saying, let the record play. And so that's where a big part of this whole lie comes in at. Because if you think about it, those people that wanted to be hip, those people that wanted to be in style or whatever, they wanted to dance and hear the whole record. So now what we did was we played the records that were funky, that had the breaks in it, and we did that. And before it got to the end of the break, we throw it in again, and the same thing over and over and over. And even with that, people were still saying, well, just go ahead, and why are you playing a record over? Why are you doing it over again? Why are you doing it over? Why are you playing it? And that's what we were doing. And so the teenagers, they were like, oh, no, that's stupid, And so then our thing was that the records that we picked that had the actual dance into it, like a James Brown record, or something like that, or Rufus Thomas record or something like that, and we would play, and we would get down on the whole record. But then when the break came in, we all in. We on the floor, we jumping up, we putting our hands in your face. Whoa, that was something awful. I've never experienced that ever before in my whole entire life. So I'm totally wondering if um if they're actually someone is actually cutting me off, of YouTube or whatever streaming service that I am, because I've never experienced any of that ever in my whole entire existence of being doing a live. So that's one for the books. And they say that it's conspiracy theories or whatever, but no, that's something deep right there. And now I have to address this whole Olympic saga, what I'm going to call it, fiasco, because this is they don't want the truth out. They do not want the truth out, and DJ Faze is going to tell nothing but the truth. And we see just like how that's my boy. I was in the movie Microphone Check. Microphone Check starts getting some telling the truth and everything, and bango, here comes Joe Conzo and Derek Cologne, the Dr. Columbus comes and stops that, puts a stop to that. Now, just think about it. If we're so 50-50 and we're so together and everything, wouldn't they be saying that, okay, we're a part of creation or whatever? So if we're telling the truth about it or whatever, and they were a part of it, they would be like, hey, when they were a part of it, they weren't repping Puerto Rico then. So why wouldn't they just say, hey, they down with us and whatever, and to do it? But no, they had to stop the truth. They had to stop Microphone Check from broadcasting, from being a part of letting everybody know worldwide. They had to stop that. So what's the reason for stopping that? And then it was about some pictures. So what? You should be proud to say, oh, those were my pictures on Microphone Check. Those were my pictures. Those pictures showed what we were, our photographic things were doing, and our so that didn't happen. So they stopped it. All right. So now they stopped Microphone Check. Me, Lord Jamal, and a couple of others of us are bringing out the truth. And as of today, looks like they're trying to stop that. I'm not saying is Dr. Columbus and Joe Conza, because they really can't. They can't. They don't have the power to stop us. They don't have the power to not let the truth be out. And also, and I'm gonna just tell my people straight up, there's one of these clowns that are using a different name or whatever, and they come in the chat, in my chat, every time, on my spaces, every single time, and then they say all this negative stuff and everything. Why do they do that? Because they do not want me to be able to say the truth to us, to our people, to my brothers and sisters. They don't want us to be able to do that. So that's why they come in there and say the stupidest things and all of this other things, So it's just it's unbelievable. When my book comes out now, This is what I want y'all all to grow, grab, and get my book. When my book comes out, it's exposing all of them. It's exposing all of the ones that have been telling the lies for all of these years. It's exposing why it was exposed, how it was actually done. It exposes the different people that tried to come in and take financial gain for our creation. It explains everything to the T. I've been working on this book since 1988. Okay, 1988. So imagine from 1988 till now, and the book is just getting finished now. So that, you know, hey, listen, we are not gonna stop. We are not, just like me and I'm a spade for life. We are not gonna stop and exposing these lies. And I'll just come out and say it one more time. Puerto Ricans or Jamaicans or no other nationality had a part of creation of hip hop other than us. That's it. Us young people from the Bronx, from Bronxville, started and created this hip hop. Anybody else challenge me on that? Tell me, show me what they've done. Show me what they contributed. Show me what we were influenced by them. They can't do it. So keep on saying that. Keep on saying whatever. Well, unless you come up with the receipts, unless you come up with the proof of it, it means absolutely nothing. And we're going to keep on continuing to bring out the truth. Listen, you know, we just did a jam on Saturday. All right. Look at the pictures. It was all us. You saw, just like back in the days, you saw one or two that were Puerto Rican or some other nationality, and that was it. The rest of us was us. And it was our old school jam. We were rocking. We were rocking. There were so many other events that happened. And when you see the pictures, you'll see we had it. We had it rocking. We had it packed. We had it good. And it was a good jam. There was nothing, no stir-ups, no problems, no nothing. That was an old school jam for your ass. Point blank, period. And that's what we did. And we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to continue to create. We're going to continue to keep our foots on all the people that are lying and saying they was there in our culture. It stops. It's going to stop. And we're the ones that's going to stop it. We're not taking it. We're you know, you guys, some of them, they get into the comments and they get one like. And you know who that one like is? That one like is them. They're the ones that like that thing. Everybody else is saying that, you know, you're a goofball. You're a dingbat for even saying stupid stuff that you say in there. So that's what we're looking at. So even if you have a fake account, which we know who it is that has the fake accounts, we already know who you are that have these fake accounts. But those names, as well as your real name, is getting mudded. It's like because you make no sense. You have no sense of whatever. All the people that say that they were there in 71 and they weren't there, all you're doing is lying. If you say that you was there in 72 and you weren't there, all you're doing is lying. The most of the people that were, and I can even say with the Cool Herc party in 73, I don't know of Puerto Ricans that were there. I don't know of them being there, and Herc could tell you that himself. You know, he can't tell you, especially at that birthday party, because the birthday party was for one of us. It was for one of us, so there weren't many Puerto Ricans that were there. So how can you claim something? How can you say you were a part of something and you weren't even there? You were not even there. So make that make sense. Make that make sense. I want, and I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to put it out there straight like that. This Olympics fiasco, They should change the name. It should not be a break dancing event because they're not break dancing. I've said it on several things. Listen, I'm the age that I am now, and I will still go against anybody, any Puerto Rican that is dancing. And I'm not even I haven't danced in years and years and years, but I bet you that I get on the thing and I start doing the stuff that I do because it's in me, because it's in our people, and I still will rock you. I'll still rock you because that's what we do. We created this. So it's not something that we watch somebody else do and then try to emulate. We didn't do that. We created our own moves. We created everything that we do. We created putting our leg behind our foot and doing it. And the crazy part about it is the people that we did see doing it or whatever, it was our goal to say, okay, they did it this way. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to rock it this way. I'm going to do it this way. And so that was it. Now, this is the part that really gets to me. And I can understand it for when we were kids. I can understand it. But when we were kids, not teenagers, kids. When we were breakdancing and we were breakdancing against each other, it's because we didn't have the female want in us, okay? So we were breakdancing against each other because, we were basically showing off to each other and doing it. Now, this is the catch. When we became teenagers, we wanted girls. We wanted girls, point blank, period. When you get, when you, even preteens, when you get to a certain age, on your mind, you thinking about girls. And I guess the girls are thinking about boys when you're at that certain age. So imagine going to impress a woman, a girl, right? And you just break dance on her. Just imagine that. So you see these grown-up men were doing the hop rock, and they're doing it with men. They're doing it with other men. So I don't get it. Like you don't want females? You don't want to be dancing with a female? You don't want to be holding a female and doing this and all of that and spinning the female around? You don't want to do that? You want to up rock against other males? Make that make sense. What, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you really seriously kidding me? And you think that that's a cool thing? That's not cool to us. We look at that like, oh, that's kind of suspect that you want to dance with a man. You go to dance with a man. I can even see if you dancing and another man is over there dancing or whatever, but you actually are coupling up with men, other men, and you're a man. What kind of? And nobody has addressed that yet. Nobody has addressed that. Did you break dancing with a man instead of a woman? Where they do that at? We don't do that. Okay, we don't do it. That's why our breakdancers are the younger generation. Our breakdancers are the ones that don't have girlfriends yet. They don't have, and even if they have girlfriends, you're at that young age where okay, you're at the show off stage. But as soon as you get to that preteen age and you start wanting to be with your girl, you want to bring your girl to the jam or you want to meet a girl at the jam, you're not breakdancing against her. You're just not doing that. So now going back to the Olympic part of it, so now they're doing this acrobats because that's all you can call it when the Puerto Ricans are doing it straight like that. You can only call it acrobats because number one thing is they don't have the soul that we have. They don't have the timing that we have. They don't. And that's just point blank, period. If they say they do, that's a lie. So those are some of the lies that are being told. Okay, so they don't have the rhythm, they don't have the soul, they don't have the timing that we do. Okay, so now if you see them doing the acrobats, and I've said this on several videos, if you see them doing the acrobats on the actual record or whatever, if you stop the record, they can continue to do the acrobats. So you could do that without music. You can do that without music. You could do the up rocking without music. You can do that without music. Break dancers cannot break dance without the music. When we break dance and the music stop, then we freeze. Wait for the music to come back on and then go back to doing what we're doing with the rhythm. Okay, we can do it. Everything is to the rhythm. Everything is to the rhythm. So now if you're doing up rocking or whatever and the music stop, they keep on going. If they on the floor, the music stops. They keep on going. They keep on doing these acrobats. So tell me what part of breakdancing is that? Okay, because like I said before, and I told people on this channel all the time that okay, the reason why it's called breakdance is because during the record, while the record is playing, there's a part of the record that breaks down into just percussion. Just percussion, and sometimes it's percussion and the bass line comes in or horn comes in, but it starts off with just the drums, and that's the drum solo. Now, when that part comes on, that's the break that we're talking about. And that's the part where we can show off all the moves that we were waiting for. We were waiting for this part of the record so that we could show our moves. Now, this is the crazy part about it that they don't get, what they're not understanding. Before that break comes on, we're still breakdancing. We're still not, it's not called breakdancing, we're still burning. We're burning at that time. And so once we're burning, you know what we're doing. We're scouting the room and say, oh, this one looks like he trying to get down. Let me scoot on over to where he's at. So when the break dance come out, I could break him. I could destroy him. I could burn him. I could rock him out. Okay, so we get over there to where he's at, and he's doing his little thing or whatever and everything. We say, okay, yeah, we got our Vic. That's our next Vic, and we're gonna go rock him, and we rock him. And that's what it was. So you don't see them, and when I say them, Puerto Rican, you don't see them doing that. You don't see them rocking to that whole part of the record, because just like when you go take a look at the videos of them up rocking. Don't just take it from my word. Go look at them, and they're doing this and all of that. They're doing that, right? Turn off the music. Turn off the music and watch them still be doing that same exact thing. And so that's why, people get mad and people say that I'm a racist. People say that, but why? Because I'm telling the truth. Because I'm telling the truth. Because I'm telling exactly how it started, how it was created, and what was being done. So because I'm doing that, I'm a racist. I'm against Puerto Ricans. I'm against Jamaicans. Why? I looked in the comments the other day, and it's heartbreaking to even say that. Why would they even say these things? Why would you even say these things? There's only got to be one reason that you're saying these things. They're saying these things because the truth hurts. The truth hurts. When they hear the truth and they see that this is exactly what they're doing, that hurts. So all they can do is try to get back at me. They try to say anything to get back at me. And it's just not going to work, because when the same thing that you're saying, the other people are saying, well, you know what? He must be really telling the truth. He must be really saying what it is, because it's hurting it, it's stepping on their toes real bad, and it's hurting them. So that's what is happening, people. That's what's happening. And so this whole Olympics stuff is trash. It's garbage. It's not breakdancing. Why can't they name, if, listen, and this makes a lot of sense, if they were so particular and so 50-50 what the creation of hip hop, why didn't they name it breakdancing? Why didn't they name it MCing? Why didn't they name it DJing? Why didn't they name the fashions that they were doing? We already said it. We already said the stuff that we was rocking. We already told the things that we brought to the table. So tell us then now, if they already said that, if they already did that, and it was part of the creation, why y'all wasn't a part of the creation of naming this stuff? Why you wasn't in the part of the creation going to AJ Lester, going to British Walker? Why you wasn't part of that? Okay, so I've never seen any Puerto Rican say, "Oh, that they were in AJ Lester." I never seen any Puerto Rican say they was in British Walker. I never seen none of that. So where's the part of the naming? You know, it's ridiculous. Okay, listen, I'm almost done. So I want to take some of these comments, because that's why I got on so early, because I didn't want to actually take some of these comments. So let's go all the way back to beginning. The Mighty Hebrew at Cool DJ Phase. It is a fact that hip hop started in 1971 Bronxdale by way of Black Spades. Now, see, that Mighty Hebrew is someone that most likely was around, or actually had people that know and did their research and said, yes, it starts in 71 in Bronxdale. So peace to you, Mighty Hebrew. Peace to you. Okay. The Mighty Hebrew, Cool DJ Face Cornbread is my old head from North Philly. Right. And now, you know, in the movie Microphone Check, Cornbread was featured. And they said they gave a timeline that he was featured. The problem with that is actually this: graffiti predates that time by years and years and years. You know, remember, you know, we would see somebody's name, and I spoke about this on one of my other channels. We would, if you were in elementary school, say in the 60s, you would see on the desk, on people's notebooks, on their, you know, on the thing, you would see graffiti. You would see sometimes stick letters, right? You know, when bubble letters came out, you would see bubble letters, and you would see that graffiti. Now, what's in my book is I'm going to tell you actually what made it go to the walls and stuff like that. But you have to wait for my book to say that. But, you know, it predates the times that people said that, you know, graffiti was there. So graffiti, like I said, it was only introduced to hip hop when the flyers came out. So that's why it was actually introduced to hip hop, is because of the flyers. And then after the flyers, and it was actually introduced, and the bubble letters and the other different styles came into it. That's when it was incorporated into fashion. And once it was incorporated into fashion, that was two ways that it actually was incorporated to hip hop. Okay, so that's where that comes from. Lord Abba, peace, fam, peace, peace, peace. Okay, let's take someone else here. Melanated Warrior. Caucasian Hispanics act just like their conquistador ancestors. Exactly, 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 Melanated Warrior. And I've said that on several videos. Remember, and just think about it, and you really have to start to think and wonder, is this exactly how it came? So when Puerto Ricans started immigrating here, they were under the impression that, which it basically was the pink American way. So they had already witnessed the pink people having us in slavery. They had already witnessed the racism against the pink people, against us. So that's why when the lighter skin Puerto Ricans came here to America, they wanted to actually be a part of the pink people, not us. They thought that the pink people were the rich ones. They thought that the pink people had the most power. They thought that the pink people, because that's all they saw. If they had a TV, all they saw was pink people. They very seldom saw us in these, these things. And so they really thought that they were going to be able to come from Puerto Rico and just blend in with the pink people. But to their surprise, the pink people rejected them. They just totally rejected them and said no. They called them all kinds of names, called them spick, called them wetbacks, called them all the different derogatory names that they could think of. They called the Hispanic. And they actually, what the pink people did was they already had created jungles, in what they called them, jungles and hoods and all that, what they called, where they had already placed us and what was supposed to be the lowest class environments. They placed them with us. Okay. And so now, to their surprise, they end up being with us in our slums, in our ghettos and everything. And so now they still was like, okay, well, there's a reason why they rejected us. Now maybe later on they're going to accept us or whatever, later on, but we're still not going to be a part of them. We're not going to be a part of the us, so they definitely were against us. In early times they were definitely against us. And so now the problem is that I don't know about anybody else, but the problem that I have is that they should be thanking us for us even accepting them, because we could have did exactly like the pink people and rejected them. We could have done that. We could have just did exactly what the pink people did and rejected them and told them, no, you can't come in our neighborhoods. You can't come in our ghettos. You can't come in our thing. And we could have fought them and did that. But we didn't. Just like our people, what we do, we open arms and come on through. Come on, be a part of us. Let us show you what to do to survive, to be a part, to assimilate to what we're doing. And as we look at it right now, I think that was a big mistake. I think it was a big mistake because, number one, there's no gratitude for us doing that. They're trying to do exactly what the pink people do, and take exactly what we have created. They're trying to take it over and say that they did it, and we were influenced by them. So they totally reverse it around, just like the pink people do. And so that's why I say what I say, because to me, we should have just rejected them just like the pink people. At the time, when I was young, of course, our parents and everything would like say, no, no, you can't do like two evils don't make good, or two bads don't make good, or whatever things, two wrongs don't make it right, or whatever. That's what our parents told us. And of course, we were listening to our parents, and we said, okay, come on, get down with us. We'll show you how to do this and show you how to do that. And as I got older, I found out that was a mistake. Okay, so it's simple like that. Okay. Exactly. Melanated Warrior says exactly. They always waving their bootleg Cuban flags. Okay. Oh, Melanated Warrior, I hear that. Okay, let's take somebody else. Hey, China Black. China Black is in here. Hey, what's going on? How are you? She's China Black says, hey, what's up, Melanated Warrior? Okay, repping our culture, to phase, to the chat, to the representers. Okay, yes, definitely. Okay, now let's see something else. There's the mighty Hebrew. Okay, China Black. We didn't know Herc was Jamaican at first. Okay, now I'm going to put that one up there. Okay, we didn't know Herc was Jamaican at first. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. When Herc showed up on the scene, right? When Herc showed up on the scene, I actually had a cousin to went to his high school, and my cousin told me that when Herc, and even Coke LaRock said it. He said it in a couple of interviews, that, and Herc said it himself. When he came, we knew that he was not from America. We knew it. He had he had on the cowboy boots, and they used to call them roach killers. And he had on the different colors and high waters and stuff. And we just knew right off the bat that he was not American. He was not. So, a lot of people probably didn't know, because they didn't see Herc in the early stages of when he first got here. So that's by the time he became public, and he had already kind of adapted to and that's what makes me so upset. Because Coke LaRock showed Herc so much. He showed Herc what to do and how to dress and all of these things. And then later on, Coke LaRock was not even credited for doing those things. So yes, we a lot of people did not know that Herc was actually Jamaican. They did not know China Black. So yeah, that's what happened. By the time he was in the public, he had already assimilated our things and our culture and stuff. Okay, let's go down. Okay, the mighty Hebrew. Mario was straight hip hop. Yes, Mario was straight hip hop. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, so they say the title Disco King Mario. So of those who have been doing research and those have watched our channel, the culture since 71, we bring Cool D and Tyrone the mixologist to the table. We bring them, and even though they were not actually 71 when we was creating it, but they were sometime after that. And so D had a person that was his MC, and he was called the Disco King. So what he was talking about was not disco music, it was talking about the discotheque. So at that time, Cool D was actually playing at a discotheque. He was playing at these spots that were considered to be a discotheque. And so his MC came to Bronxdale with D, and he was saying, that he was the disco king. And if anybody knows Mario, Mario's the first one to say, "Yo, you ain't no disco nothing. You ain't disco whatever," and took the name and actually dared him to say that name again. Like he actually dared him, which is so, when you think about it now, like, wow, Mario, really? You did that? And so after that day, he was never known to be the disco king of anything anymore. And Mario took that name. And so he did that. Now, at the time of that happening, there really wasn't what we call disco music. See, that's another thing that people are really getting mixed up. They don't understand the difference of the discotheque sound music or the actual disco music that came out. When you listen to Donna Summer with that continuous drum beat, that's the beginning. Basically 75, 76 is the beginning of disco music. Now, disco music really didn't last that long. It sure did not. It did not last so long, because just like any other thing, it gets over, I guess, saturated with that, and it's really, people are not taking to it. So there's a certain amount of dances that you can do to disco music, where with the funk music, with the soul music, you can do just basically about any kind of dance with it. And so therefore, they started doing the ads, disco sucks and everything. So after a while, taking up and also, please don't get it twisted, don't get it wrong, but in that disco scene, in that disco era, there were a lot of how can I say, uh alternate people, I guess. I'll just come out and say there were, the alphabet people that were really taken to this disco. And they would do acid and mescalines and stuff like that, and coke and speed. And so they would be really hyped up on this type of music. And so that's what became of disco music. Now, when people come and tell me there's, oh well, there was disco breaks back in the day. Yeah, but really, you got to look at those disco breaks. They were actually out there at the time that the disco was actually relevant. So Disco King Mario, he played disco when disco was actually in, and because he was a DJ and he wanted to cater to the crowd. But now in the early creation of hip hop, there was no disco. It was just soul music. And yes, there's some soul music that had a continuous beat. There was some, but mostly the soul music that we like had a syncopated beat, and that meant that the drums were doing different things. It wasn't just a boom, bat, boom, bat, boom, bat, boom, bat. It wasn't that. It was the boom, gat, gat, boom, bat, boom, boom, bat, that, boom, bat, boom, boom, bat. And so that was the drumming that we preferred on our soul music. So that's where the disco came in at. Okay. Dr. G, the hatred is real. Okay, so we could go all both ways with that. But I'll tell you this: I don't hate. I don't hate them. I don't. I hate what's happening. And of course, you would feel the same way if someone was trying to take something that you are part of the creation and take it over, and then take it over and do it wrong, do it bad, because they're not breakdancing. So that's where the hatred comes in for my part of it. Now, the hatred from them to us, you have to realize it. Remember, like I said, in elementary school, when the Puerto Ricans came by, we would sing, "The flood is over, the land is dry. Why you wear your pants so high?" And so imagine being a kid and know that they're talking about you, and you trying to pull your pants down some so that you won't have high waters. They would could grow up to hate us, and saying their hair smells a certain way, and they would, yes, they would definitely grow up, and then listening to their parents, what their parents would tell them, in Spanish, hey, stay away from those negros, stay away from the El Chocolates, and stay away from them, El Marenos, and stuff, So yes, that's where the hatred comes in on their side. And so now the hatred is real because we're actually saying it. We're actually telling the story and telling how they became and what they're not a part of, and that they have no creation part of it or anything. And so that's where the hatred comes in now. And believe me, I see the hate. I see the hate, and this is my thing, that if the stuff that we were saying was actually not true, then they would have the evidence to back up to say whatever they would say. And I have not seen any evidence of it. I have not seen any evidence of it. Okay. Avenge the Ancestors. What's up, brother DJ Faze and Room B1 first? Okay, yes. What's up, Avenge the Ancestors? Okay. Melanated Warrior. I saw Dr. Columbus on Facebook telling Charlie that he needs to denounce microphone check. Right, exactly, because that microphone check told basically the truth and showed that they weren't around. It shows that they were not around, and they were definitely not a part of the creation of hip hop. Okay, repping our culture. The Olympics looks ridiculous. I tried to get into it, but it's just not cutting it. You know why it's not cutting it? Because that's not breakdancing. That is not. Why didn't they just call it, the gymnastics or something like that? Because it's totally not acrobats and stuff like that. It's totally not breakdancing. So to give it that name is absolutely ridiculous to me. I'm in perjury till the Most High come. One love, family. One love, family. One love. The boosted though. What up, fam? What up, family? DL, black first. Okay. also, DLs, they are attempting a genocide on FBA by first stealing our culture. And that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And this is where I really feel like I'm going to keep on going, is because number one thing is you have to wonder why they're trying to steal our culture. Why would they? If our culture was so bad to them, and our culture was so, degrading to them, uh, why would they be trying to steal it? We say it all the time. Even though we can say we have a legitimate argument to say that we created salsa, that they were influenced by our music, all of that, right? All of those different Spanish, what they call Spanish type music now, we can say that. But the problem is we don't want to claim it. We don't want to claim it. We don't want to. And that's the part that I just don't get. We don't want to. So why do they want so bad to claim our creations? Like, why do they want so bad to claim our? You have to wonder. Okay, Be More Bigfoot. In the early 90s, I was in the joint in Maryland. I had the Source magazine with Herc Bam and Flash saying they was the fathers in New York. Dudes was very disappointed and didn't understand. Then now see why. Right. Exactly. Okay, exactly. So the brothers from New York that were in Maryland knew the truth. They knew the truth. They knew that, yo, these guys coming in, and they put them on this magazine cover, and they weren't even there. And even like I said, and I said this earlier, uh, when Sugar Hill came out, right? Us real hip hop heads that had seen the Cold Crush, or even before the Cold Crush, and all of the crews or whatever, especially us, the ones that created it, when Sugar Hill came out, and those records following Sugar Hill and the one before Sugar Hill came out, and we heard those actual records, and we heard that it wasn't the original records, that it was instruments actually playing over, trying to play the actual breaks or the actual songs, that it was, we were automatically like, that's fake, that's whack, that is so fake, that's so whack. But the thing that got us, that it was the closest thing that we heard on the radio. You understand? So it was the closest thing to the real thing that we heard on the radio. And so we had to basically accept it, and go along with it, because it was the closest that we see on the radio. So even now, as today, you'll see some pink people trying to copy what we've done, and it looks ridiculous. I saw this pink lady that actually was trying to teach the dances of us, and you look at it and you're like, what the heck is she doing? That is the worst thing, she was trying to do the Cabbage Patch. She was doing, oh my God. And she looked so, and she said, you have to wait like this, and then you have to do this. And wait a minute, get it together and do this. And she was basically, just showing that they have no rhythm. They just don't have no rhythm, and so that's what it is. Okay. Also, I want to give you a thing about, because I'm going to put this up here. Let me put this up here. Okay. Now, one thing that I've realized about the creation and people after the creation. Um, you know, one person that you don't hear a lot about is Smokey and the Smokatrons. And Smokey will tell you straight like that Mario was before him. And he got some of the records, the breaks, and to know to do the breaks and stuff from Mario. And one thing that I realized is that uh, a lot of people did not know who Smokey was. But a lot of people just did not know who Smokey was and don't know who Smokey is today. And one event that I went to a couple of Saturdays ago, Smokey was there. Smokey was there, and I have pictures and everything to show. And for when we first saw each other, and we saw each other, and we remembered immediately. He remembered who I was, remember how young I was, and what I did, and how I put the records on the turntables, and all of that. Smokey remembered that. And so now remember, he had been sitting there before I got there. He had been sitting there. And so when I went up to him, and I'm so happy to see him, and I'm seeing him, then the people that were around there were actually listening to what we were saying, and they saw how I was so excited to do that. Now remember, this is the catchy part. So he had been there already. He had been sitting in that same spot already, right? And so when I come up and I speak and I'm start saying Smokey, and I'm so excited to see him. As soon as that happened, people started coming over to him and saying, "Oh, this and that, and I want to take a picture with you." And then there was a group picture with all of us, mostly the pioneers, me, Breakout, DST, Lord Jamar was there. He was in that group picture, and these were really, the actual legends. Then everybody, and I'm not going to say everybody, but a couple of those Puerto Rican people that did not know who they were wanted to jump into that picture. Why? Why would they want to jump in that picture? The reason why is that because they saw that we were giving attention to Smokey, somebody that they didn't even know, but they were giving attention to Smokey, and they wanted to be a part of that picture. So later down the line, they would say they were there, they were a part of it, and this is what's happening, people. You don't see that. You don't see that that's what's happening. A lot of them will walk up to somebody because they see everybody else going to see them, and everybody else shaking their hand and saying, taking pictures of them. And then they'll go right behind there and ask, "Hey, can I take a picture of them?" Don't know them from Adam. Don't know them from Adam. But yet and still they'll do that. So, okay. HJ, racist Dr. Columbus and his racist friend Randy be behind those fake accounts. You thought we didn't know? You thought we did not know. We all know that. We all know that, and we see the things. And this is the part about it. See, they don't want to show their name because that proves that they're watching everything that I do. Why would they want to watch everything that I do? If I'm so fake, if I'm such a liar, if I'm such a racist, I'm such all the things that they said or called me, all right, why would they want to watch every single thing that I do? And they do. They're guaranteed they have me on notification. So that means that anytime I come on anything, they're notified. The bell comes on, the DJ phase is on, and they immediately go to it. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? All right. And so, yes, yes, that's why they do the fake accounts. Okay. Okay, wow. Oh man, the time is going so by so quick, and I haven't said, yesterday I did one and I said that I was going to do the part two today, but when I saw those two videos, I just had to get on, and I thought that nobody was going to come on, and there was going to be no comments, and then that I was going to be able to actually say all the things that I need to say, but of course that didn't happen. Okay, DL. They are La Raza. They are attempting to employ a Spanish blood quantum into hip hop. Well, it's not working. It's totally not working. True hip hoppers, the true creators, know that they're trying to be infiltrated, and it's just not going to work. Lord Abba, fire, 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 peace. Lord Abba, peace. Um, breaking LD is breaking was a battle. Yes, 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 and so that's where the problem comes. I'm gonna put that one up there. Okay. I'll put the other one because he misspelled it. So breaking was a battle, and it was a battle that was basically started from the spades. What the spades would do, because you remember, um, early spades were karate experts. Anybody will tell you about the early spades. We were karate experts. And so basically, and keep it real with you, they were not losing. They were not. They were beating up the people, and it was just like, it. My sensei, Khalif, who was one of the founders of the beginning parts of the Black Spades, he said to me, they talk this, a lot of people that weren't there talk this junk about how when you were jumped into a club, that you had to go to down the line. And what he said made so much sense that, of course, we didn't do that because they would be in the hospital. They would be laid out if they went through the karate line. If they, the cats would have been put somebody in the hospital. So that's a falsehood that people think that actually happened when it really did not happen. There was no jumping in because there would have been. Now, we did, this is something that I know as a baby spade, we did have to fight one-on-one to show that you could fight. And that was one of the things, because if you didn't know how to fight and you fought somebody, you would learn after that. You would learn how to fight after that. So yes, we did have the one-on-one fights, to prove that you know how to fight, or see if you didn't know how to fight, because you couldn't roll with us somewhere if you didn't know how to fight. You couldn't get down on somebody or whatever if you didn't know how to fight, because, even though we would have came back and got you, or we wouldn't have left you there, or we would have jumped in or whatever and took over, put you to the side. Yeah, that's what happened, but you would have definitely known how to fight. So, yes, so the battle came when they were, they didn't want to fight you or whatever, but they could show you in some moves and diss you in the moves. So, my favorite thing was to go back or whatever and then put the hand in the face, all right, ever. So that was a total diss, that was if you did that to your opponent, that was a total diss, or if you turn your hat around and turn around and come back and bang, like that. That was a total diss. And you do this and come back or whatever and whatever, and we used to, put the finger up and all in their face, like that. And so, that was a total diss. And that was stopping from go ahead and doing the actual fight. So that's how they would battle back in those days. Okay, the boosted. I lost that one. Hold on, let me go back to that. It says, okay, let's put that up there. It says, no more rolling on the floor and messing up your clothes. Exactly right. So now that was one of the things, reasons why the break dancing didn't last with us, because if you got on some new British Walkers, or you got on some new AJs, or you got on some new, shirt, who wants to get on the floor and scuff up your new British Walkers or your new Playboys or whatever you was wearing? Who wants to scuff that up and get on the dirty floor? And that's what was breakdancing was. So no, we wasn't doing that. We wasn't gonna get on the floor and mess up our new clothes. We just were not gonna do that. So the people that continued actually doing that, that shows a big part of it, because we were not going to go ahead and get on the floor and mess up you, because you're on the floor. People are stepping on the floor, tracking stuff on the floor all day. So if you get on the floor, especially if you spin on the floor or you do anything on the floor, that dirt is going to come up on your clothes. There's point blank period. Okay, so why would we do that? Why would we mess up our clothes? We put on the new clothes so that we can show off the clothes. So we're not going to get on the floor and dirty up our clothes. So that's a great point, a great point of how it does. Okay, HJ says Crazy Legs looks mad goofy when he dances. He's like a robot with no rhythm, and he's supposedly one of their dancer icons. Well, that yeah, I'll put that one up here on the I'll put that up there. HJ says, Crazy Legs looks mad goofy when he dances. He's like a robot with no rhythm, and he's supposedly one of their dancing icons. Okay, so let's deeply go into that. Let's investigate that a little bit more. Okay, you said he looks like a robot. So robots are programmed to do what they're programmed to do. That's what a robot is, and they have the different movements, because that's the movements that they are equipped to do. So when you said that Crazy Legs looks like a robot, you have to really take a look at what's happening. So he's taking, number one thing is he's looking at the art in which we were doing dancing. That's number one. And so if you don't have rhythm if you don't have rhythm, you can't assimilate, or you can't exactly copy something. And I always said this, I always said that if you have a survey, if you're building a building and you have a survey, and there's something in that survey that wasn't put in the survey or something, that building is not going to come out like the survey. It's not going to, it'll come out something like it, but it will not be exact as the survey. So that's basically what they have done. They copied our moves. They not copied. They looked at our move, and they tried to emulate our moves, and it doesn't work. Okay, it's almost 2 hours. I am definitely got to go. I'm gonna take two more of these comments. And please, through the whole thing, I didn't say like, share, and donate. Like, share, and donate. Please, it takes money for us to do these lives. It takes money for us to buy the cameras and the stuff, and we're constantly giving you guys the information. We're giving you guys the information, and the information that is given will actually let you know why the Puerto Ricans want our culture so bad, why Jamaicans want our culture so bad, why all different nationalities wants our contribution so bad. The break dancers, they come from China and stuff like that. They were playing Chinese music. The Japanese people were playing Japanese music. So, they had to look at America. They had to look to America and see what we were doing in order to even do that. And so that's just basically it. This Olympics thing is basically going to ruin it for us. And I'm just keeping it on it. It's going to ruin it for us because people that do not get a chance to see what we do, people that don't, they're going to take it as that's what it really is, when it really is not. It's far from what we do. It's far from our culture, and so that's basically what's happening. And I've always said this. That the people, the actual photographers and the actual people that came to do interviews and stuff, they were not coming to the hood. They were not. They were going to the moving on up buildings and stuff because they did not want their stuff jacked. They did not want to get robbed. They didn't want to get beat up. They didn't want to do that. So they did not come to the nitty gritty. They didn't come to the actual part where these things were happening. And that's why we ended up with them saying secondhand stuff and secondhand information, and that's where we're at with it. So back to what I was saying, those hidden lies are, number one, that Puerto Ricans were 50-50 with us. That's a lie. Hidden lies are that Puerto Ricans had a part of the creation. That's a lie. Hidden lie is that Puerto Ricans even wanted to be with us back in the 70s and the early 70s. That's a lie. Saying that breakdancing was created and the moves that breakdancing was influenced by Puerto Rican, that's a lie. The culture, Puerto Rican culture, had nothing to do with the influence of hip hop at all. We didn't play any Spanish music. We didn't speak Spanish. We didn't have no Spanish fashion. We didn't do nothing, absolutely nothing that came from the Puerto Rican culture. So anybody that says that is lying. I'm so disappointed at KRS. I'm so disappointed at MC Shan for saying those things, because those are lies. Those are straight up lies. When KRS said that, that was a straight up lie. And so those are some of the hidden lies. When they say that what they're doing at the Olympics is breakdancing and it's original breakdancing, that's a lie. So those are some of the lies that actually have been told. and we're just not we're not going to have it. And all those people that support me, that are backing me, that are with me, let's continue to do this. Let's continue to not let them take over, not let them take something that we created. And that's just it. We have to make a stand at some point in time, and this is just part of the stand. Peace to Lord Shamar. He's putting out the truth. He's definitely one of the true people that just want to expose the truth. And so I give shouts out, take my hat off, salute you, Lord Jamar, and everybody else that's in the movement. Okay, remember, please like, share, and donate. Oh, you know what? I didn't even put that up. Let's go to that. Hold on, because I didn't see that. Hold on. Okay, so now that's the Cash App. It should have been up there the whole time, but I actually didn't put it up there. So that's the Cash App. So like I said, share, and definitely share, definitely donate, and definitely like, because the more you share, the more you like, the more you donate, the more chance that we have to actually stop this thing, stop this madness, stop these lies, stop the invasion of our culture. The more you do that, the more it has. And when you subscribe, and the bigger the channel gets, the more access we have to tell our story. you know um we have more access to actually get the truth out there. So like and share and donate, and we're going to make it. We're definitely not going to let it happen. And when I say it, meaning that we're not going to let anyone else come and take our creation away. So peace out. Let that rock for a little while, and I'll just